Niraj Ruparel. Do keep your eyes fixed on the screen. I think you're going to find it interesting the way he starts his class. In the meanwhile, I'll just read out some of the bits from his bio. He has a lot of experience in mobile marketing, XR marketing, voice marketing, etc. And he's been recognized and as one of the top 40 rising talents in Asia Pacific by Campaign Asia Pacific. And I can say that there's no guest that has appeared on Friday Zone in the last 1 year that Shubhrit and I have learned so much from, and been so interested that we've been sort of become the unofficial ambassadors of Meta all over the place. So welcome, Neeraj. There you
Completely
go.
agree.
Over to you.
Thank you so much, Parul. If you could put the studio on the spotlight, please.
I'll just do
Uh,
that second. Yeah.
You guys can see Parul on my metaverse, right? I call this my
Yeah.
metaverse. And that's me. Hello, everyone. Let's just see the power of the platform first. This is a studio which we have coded using bunch of software. So this particular platform, as I said, has got 200 plus reaction filters. Currently, I have got about 50 odd active, which we use to relay a lot of our fancy client presentations, whether it's a big creative idea or if I'm doing a product launch, or you name the use case, and we are popping in from this particular space, the virtual space what we have created. We also do a lot of these conferences using this space. This is completely 3D and immersive. So what you see is completely immersive and 3D. And if I want to quote something out there, I would just wear this and say Cadbury silk, and you will see silk falling all over, right? So you can do fancy presentations using this space. You can do virtual concerts. You must have seen a lot of concerts happening around. In fact, the Justin Bieber concert, 2.2 million people attending, BMW, Coldplay. India saw its first virtual concert with Dalir Mehndi. If you've seen that, it was on a platform which is party.io and Make in India startup. So a lot of these campaigns and a lot of these use cases are evolving in this space of metaverse. And a lot of startups, after the announcement which got made by Meta in last November, a lot of startups have started using the gaming platforms, the gaming engines. So there are gaming engines and there are gaming worlds. I think Omar spoke about the gaming worlds, that he goes and buys real estate on Sandbox and Fortnite. These platforms are coded on gaming engines, which is your Unity or Unreal. So most of the use cases which you see, it's metaverse platforms which are getting coded onto gaming engines, which are almost like 10 to 12 years old now. It's no more new. And all of us, like guys like me who are like very big on VR gaming. And when Bipasha was talking, I did send a message that I live on this. You know, I almost live on Quest 2. And I've started doing my meetings as well on Horizon workrooms and Horizon venues, and really waiting for Horizon Worlds to kick in. So that's the level of excitement which we have as a company in this space, and we are constantly innovating in this space. So coming back, Metaverse, as we all know, a lot of startup players are driving it. A lot of players are coding their platforms, creating customizations on the parent or the source gaming engines, which is Unreal and Unity. And we've got a bunch of use cases on how we have created events, brand-focused events, or regular events, and we've got brands to the party. So I'll just give you this one use case. And here we run a community of sorts wherein we've got 100 odd people across our operating company. So we have got creative brains, we've got technology, data experts, we've got guys who are specializing in emerging technologies. We get them all in, and then we brainstorm that if there's a new tech which is coming in, and all what we learned from Bipasha and her team in India, how do we leverage all that? There are big tech companies who are working on a larger roadmap. There are startups who are ready to go all out and explore a lot of new stuff out there. And there are guys like us who are sitting on 500 plus brands, and my day starts with a lot of problem statements, right? That's what Omar says, that every morning he gets a lot of emails. The clients are telling him, we want to do something on Metaverse, but we don't know what's Metaverse, right? So that's a problem statement which remains for everyone. Almost everyone wants to get an understanding on what's Metaverse and how they can ride on this wave which is kicking in. And you've already seen that. There is a bank which is buying real estate on Sandbox and opening a banking lounge. Is that going to make any brand matrix move out there? No, it's more PRable stories out there which you're seeing right now. I see 3 or 4 core use cases of Metaverse as on date, and we are working towards it, and we are building a lot of use cases for our brands. Point number 1 is create events create events where brands can come and ride on it and learn from it, right? Test waters in blue oceans. Second, create a platform with a vision. Like employers like Mondelez or Unilever or you name it, HSBC, they would go and open up their shops out there. Apple, for that example, Amazon, they would all open up their pods inside that. They would have AI babies who are guarding the pods, who are actually interacting with audiences out there and getting a chance of one of these youth who moves into the platform to be a store manager for a day. That's a larger vision. It's exactly going to be a digital twin of your city or of your world, right? So that's the roadmap which a lot of brands are chasing, which is more sustained in nature. Then they create a real estate where there are going to be hoardings out there or commerce-led experiences. And a lot of brands are also trying that. 1.5 years back, we partnered with this company called Super Awesome, and they created some mesmerizing metaverse experiences for us, wherein they did live commerce for some of the brands like Samsung and Gucci. This was almost like 1 year back. And then 6 months down the line, I think of creating something here. And today, another 6 months down the line, you're seeing so many use cases which are evolving in the space, right? So now just going back and just talking about some of the use cases which we have delivered in this particular market. To begin with, I would just go back to all what Bipasha said. And the November announcement was a turning point in this entire journey, right? When this happened in November, and everyone started talking, and we were also thinking of what do we do. In one of my brainstorming session, and I was saying that how do we ride on this wave? And one of the kids walks up to me and he says, we should create a Tinder destination for on a metaverse. Like go to Tinder and create a destination for Tinder on the metaverse. And there's another guy said that why Tinder? Why can't we get a marriage going on the metaverse? That rang a bell, and I said, marriage is something really cool, and we should be doing that. And that's how we started this journey. We partnered with one of our startup players who've been working with us for almost like 3 years. We said we went up with this idea saying that why can't we do a marriage on the metaverse? And today, all of you know that platform as Metaverse. And Metaverse has done so many campaigns for so many of our brands in a most fanciest manner which you've ever seen. So the journey started in November where we convinced one of our friends to get married on the metaverse. Then we go out in media and we inform some of our friends in media saying that, hey guys, do you know there's someone who's getting married in metaverse? The rest of it, you guys do the best. The PR team picked it up. It was all over the place. Everyone kind of started talking about it. There's a couple who's getting married on metaverse. And then we said there's a marriage happening. And Abhijit and Sanskriti, our friends, they actually met up at Bharat Matrimonial. So we went to our client Bharat Matrimonial and we got them on board and they were super kicked. They were like, yes, we want to be part of this marriage. Second, we said, it's Shadi ho rahi hai, we need to get sweets in, right? So we went to all possible brands and ITC came up saying that, okay, I want to be part of this. So ITC created a commerce experience inside that wedding with a Fable counter out there. And the last one and the most interesting one is the welcome drinks counter powered by Coke. And this was one of its kind integration wherein we bring alive the entire thematic of sip a Coke and shake a leg with Daljit. The thematic of the campaign completely came alive on that particular platform. So let me just show you a quick AV on this and then we talk more about this. And let me also show you what's happening now and what will be the reality. What's the reality now in terms of what we are delivering and what will be a potential future using Unreal and Unity gaming as well as MetaHuman engines. But you can see Abhijit walking in, that's the avatar he's created. You can see the TVC playing in the background. You can see the brand safety checks, right? This guy is me. Doesn't look like me at all, but we can refine it further. I'll try going closer. There's proximity check which is enabled. You cannot go close to an avatar.
Great presentation and amazing case studies that you have shown. I really loved it. I'd already seen, I think, on TV or on YouTube, I guess, and that was a really creative way of of a brand using metaverse. and new gen tech. So my question was, do you have any insights on what the customer psyche would be when it comes to ownership? So Web 3.0 is all about ownership, right? Web 2.0 was create and consume. Web 1 was just consume. Web 3 is create, consume, and own. So the ownership aspect of it comes with the NFTs and all different brands coming in. And I wanted to understand, and there's a lot of the reason that there's a lot of news about NFTs in the metaverse is why people are ready to spend so much ridiculous amount of money. They're literally paying for a piece of art or something that's not tangible, to say the least, right? So I wanted to understand from you, is this like just an early adopter kind of a psyche that is happening right now, or is there a long term? I wanted to understand from you what you feel would the customer psyche would be in the next 5 years. Would they still be ready to kind of invest?
Whether it will go mass or not, is that the question?
Yeah, overall, so mass adoption is one thing that is inevitable. That's going to happen. I'm talking about the amount of involvement or amount of investment that people are ready to make in it.
So just to answer your question, I don't have an answer to that. Somebody asked this question to Vipasha, even Omar. We don't have clear answers right now in terms of which way is it going to go. Government got into the act recently and kind of legalized it in terms of taxing it, not legalize it, but they made it taxable because to your statement that there's a lot of money which is going into it, might as well like regularize it in terms of taxation structure, and that's what they have done. And from the brand story, and I'm seeing a lot of these celebrities who create beautiful moments, right? They want to just ride on it and create these moments now on the platform using blockchain, which people would then come and feel that sense of ownership out there that I own this particular piece, right? So that's something which is kicking in already. I'm seeing that early adopters like me are definitely picking it up, or Omar who already is engaging with NFT. Some guys are picking it up, but slowly as this entire wave kicks in, I would see, and one of our campaigns, if you saw WPP's NFT Forest, which was one of our early campaigns where we used the Polygon stack and we asked our employees to basically use MetaMask, create a crypto wallet, go there and plant a tree. This exercise was just being done like a to-do list to get more and more people experience these platforms, because this is going to be reality in no time.
I have two questions. So the first question is, in your opinion, what are some of the key complexities or challenges that the metaverse faces, especially when it comes to brand deployment? I mean, you did mention that one is, of course, everyone does want to be on the metaverse, but they may not be sure about how to utilize it or what they can, what best can be done with it. And the second question is, in terms of sustainability, a lot of brands, a lot of companies, because of course sustainability is a big matter. What are the possibilities of a sustainability and metaverse fusion? Like, I mean, are brands exploring that, or
Yes.
any examples? Yeah.
Yes. Did you see our use case with UP government and Colgate, which was in PR a couple of days back? And this is one of its use case on metaverse for social good. We actually got with partnership with UP government, we got 7 or 8 tribal ladies with the help of volunteers to move into the metaverse and create a piece of art, which is what our friend Omar does. And then we got Colgate in with a messaging which seamlessly blended. See, Colgate as a brand is always doing a lot of work for rural India, right? Like Pocket Dentist and bunch of other initiatives which we drive, Bright Smiles, Bright Future. And they had this tagline, Smile Karo Shuru Ho Jao. That tagline and the communication was being seamlessly integrated into the canvas where these ladies are going to be coming in doing the artwork. So when you go there, you load it up, the cute messaging comes in, Smile Karo, Shuru Ho Jao, and the canvas turns into a white paper where they do the drawings, obviously, in the metaverse as metahumans. Now imagine the use case here. One of my best use case which I'm chasing right now, physically challenged people. I can get them as their avatar and I can get them into a Lady Gaga concert or Justin Bieber concert and make them dance to the tune of Justin Bieber, which they could have never ever done. Such a strong use case of metaverse for social good. Another thing which I think when Bipasha touched upon was the legal top tips. We have defined certain legal top tips for brands to play around in the metaverse space, right? It's very, very critical. Proximity, which I showed you. The avatar was trying to go closer. You cannot. Beyond a particular distance, you cannot go closer. If there is a lot of unknown people who have moved in, obviously I will do email verifications. In certain educational cases, we will have, eventually we will have parents signing up with their Aadhaar number, doing an OTP verification, and then the kids are moving in, right? So we have to make this ecosystem will grow, and we have to make this a complete brand safe environment. And we are constantly learning, as I said. So there's a case which happened in London. India learned from it. I learned from it in that wedding, and we fixed it. Or the work which we did together on the moon dating experience, which are two people, legitimate lovers in love, part of the contest, verified by the brand, moved into a space and had a good time, right? So we are only focusing on right now invite only kind of an events, the verified audiences who are moving to the space. But yeah, there's a larger world out there. Our platforms, which I showed you, Journey, has a capability to connect to Instagram Live, identify cohorts out there, Instagram Live, on the stories, hit on that, Journey opens up. The entire platform is completely immersive platform. You create your avatar and you start moving, right? On the browser, on the fly, on the browser. All that is a possibility. But as I said, that we will learn a lot. In this process, we will learn a lot in terms of how to create metaverse for good, a brand safe environment. And that is something which big tech companies and bigger agencies like us are focusing on. Creating metaverse for good.
I'm the CEO for PRCAI. Neeraj, great presentation, and thanks for sharing all this.
Thank you so much.
Love your avatar, frankly. I have a couple of questions. Number one, to begin, I saw you holding and in love with your these devices, right? Are you thinking of metaverse without any of these devices?
It's live. The WPP campus of the Journey, what I showed you, no device needed. Just log on with your mobile phone browser.
Okay, so on browser.
Travis Scott, the concert which happened, millions of people attended. Not even a single guy attended from a VR device.
Okay, wonderful. That's what, because I'm also, yeah, I work with a group as well who's doing big time this work on metaverse in automotive, and their vision is really to democratize metaverse without these devices. So hence the question. So it's good to know your areas of work. Secondly, when you work with your clients, do you approach the digital teams, the marketing teams? Who's your target audience, and are you reaching out to PR teams at all? And a follow-up question to that is, are you seeing the shift of the spends? Like, so from a client perspective, where is this budget really lying? Is it marketing? Is it digital transformation? Where is that money? I think those are some key things for decision makers, communicators to understand that, is this a new white category of money that one should be blocking and working towards, or this is digital versus traditional? So couple of thoughts on that.
What a fabulous question. What a fabulous question. This, I would have seeded this. Ideally, I would have seeded this. This is such a fabulous question. So like, just to answer, it's absolutely early days. At WPP, we truly believe in collaboration. So you would see in my community, Shubhreet here is PR team, but she works with me, emerging tech lead at WPP. So imagine the level of collaboration we drive there. So I've got a bunch of guys who do research from Kantar, from PCW, HNK, my media folks, my creative rock stars from Ogilvy. They all come together, and then we look at brand's problem statement. But to answer, do I speak to the PR team at on the client side? Big no. Do I speak to them post campaign? I still don't, but my teams would. You know, just to convey that what have we done? You know because how passionately we have landed this, and that what story should go in the market, right? For that we get involved. But are we doing anything focused with the PR team? Answer is no.
Abhishek, if I may add to this, Deepti, I mean, just on your question. One is, I think the interesting part of the trend they have to see is the GroupM research that came recently in terms of the fact that this is for the first time that digital spends are going to take over the TV spends, right? 2022, that's the trend that's been projected. So that's a very interesting insight in terms of how we should all be looking at communication, either PR or marketing, either way, right? That's where we're seeing a lot of the trends happening. But I think the other part on this is that this was a question that I asked Niraj exactly 2 days back in terms of when we had this long presentation in terms of how do we work this together. And I think there is a great opportunity for PR teams and corporate communication teams to also come together to see how we could look at media interviews, press conferences, product launches very differently than what probably we are doing. And I think the post-COVID world has given that opportunity for us to be slightly more adventurous and have the ability to do something slightly different.
Thank you so much, Neeraj. This has been an absolutely wonderful presentation. And thank you for giving your time and space here. Thank you, Bipasha, for agreeing to come and explain the whole concept behind Meta. Thank you, Umar, for giving us a great insight into NFT. And I think if I would take away from this, the future is already here. As Bipasha said, it's no longer pause and move forward. It's already moved forward. As Deepti asked, does this, who do you really ask for this budget? As Deepti pointed out, it's time to really bring in PR into this conversation. And that's a task that PRCI will be taking on as we go forward. I'd also like to thank Hill+Knowlton, especially Abhishek, Megha, Shubreet, whose idea it was to focus on Meta. And we've just had absolutely wonderful thanks for the roses. Yes, roses for Hill+Knowlton.
Thank you, Neeraj.
So
roses for the ladies, roses for the power pack motivated ladies.
Thank you so much. So this idea, and what I really like about working with Hill+Knowlton is that the ideas are very editorial. I don't have to keep saying, bring the sponsor behind and editorial forward. It's already editorial forward. It's really great fun working with the HNK team. My colleague Soumya, who's not here today, but otherwise she's put together the whole event behind the scenes. Thank you especially to our audience who's given us time on a Friday evening. Thank you so much. And maybe we can have the roses once again for them, Neeraj, for the audience who's been here and asked questions. In the meanwhile, very, very happy Holi to all of you next week. May color fill all our lives and happiness and good health to all. Thank you.